I'm working remote today. I'm in Hollywood, actually. I can see the sign from here. It's actually pretty cool. I wish I could turn the camera around so you guys could see it. But yeah, it's beautiful. We got Capitol Records right here. We got the Netflix building over there. What a lovely life to be able to find a way to work and provide value for the people that you care about anywhere you want, anywhere in the world. I come from a small town called Augusta, Georgia, and it was honestly a miracle to make it this far and just to be able to look at the palm trees and just be able to enjoy freedom at this level. Um, one thing I want to tap in and one thing I want to go over today in this workshop video is how to create your clarity framework. So a lot of the time when we approach ideas, or I know me personally, when I used to approach my creative ideas, I would have this ultimate success model in my mind of just the vision of it working. And I think a lot of creatives do that, like when I would create something, or when I would make an effort to do something, all I could see was the outcome that I wanted. But what I wasn't able to internalize and come up with was the day-to-day task to actually achieve those results. A lot of the time, I don't think I did the best possible, and a lot of the times we don't. A lot of the time, we don't actually do the research and spend the time thinking about what all should go into creating this result. We want to make a lot of money, but people don't know how to problem solve. We want to have millions and millions of dollars, but a lot of people lack proper communication skills. We want to go super far in life, but are we bilingual? So the lifestyle that you want to live comes to the person that you become. It's not just going to happen to the version of you that you are right now, just because you want it. That's wishful thinking. Transform yourself into the person that lives the life that you want to live. Have a vision of who that person is. Have a vision of what that looks like. You want to create a clear vision of who you want to be. Don't create an idea of the things that you want and then go after those things, because those are all arbitrary. And as humans, we don't even realize that half the time the things that we wanted 6 months ago aren't even on our want list today. But your values, certainly your values, will more than likely be the same in 6 months, unless, say, you start a family or get into a serious relationship or have a very, very drastic relocation. For the most part, the things we value stem from when we were younger. It's how we were brought up. It's the qualities that were expressed in our developmental stages. And we pick up on those, the ones we like, the ones we don't like, and we internalize those and we really build our futures around that. We just don't realize it because it's subconscious. But your value system will allow you to have clarity when you're thinking about the day-to-day things that are going to create the person that you want to become. And if you have a hard time visualizing who your future self looks like, or what your future self looks like, or who your future self is, start by just writing out a list of things that you value. If you could create somebody that was exactly who you want to be, if you could create the version of you with no limits, write down on a piece of paper what that person would look like. How would they dress? How would they speak? Where would they go? What types of settings would they like to spend time in? How would they communicate with people? How would they like to be received? Write all of those things on a list. What you'll realize is that it creates the patterns, because if you want to be more fit, then you create an exercise routine. If you want more energy, then you work on a nutrition plan. If you want to make more money, then you learn communication skills, you learn leadership, you learn finance. The boring parts, yeah, is these things take time for sure. They don't happen overnight. A lot of these, they anticipate that you have to learn a new skill. But what's keeping us stuck is not that what we want doesn't work, or it's not that what we're doing doesn't work. A lot of the time, we just have to be more creative and more flexible in the approach and inside of the actual work that we're doing to get the results that we want to achieve. It's like the artist that wants to make it big or quote unquote blow up. And they spend all day and all night of every day recording music. And then they'll say, well, I have so much music. It's so good. I've mastered my sound. What's wrong? And they could spend 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years stuck in that mindset of thinking that, okay, I just need to make another song. I need to follow this trend. Oh, sound's changing. Let me make a song like this rapper. Oh, maybe if I sing a little bit more, they'll take it. Oh, maybe if I add more autotune, it'll pop. In reality, a serious musician who has a goal in mind of say, I want a number one record. Okay, well, instead of making a million songs, they make one song and focus on finding a distribution label. Or they say, I want to make $100,000 off of my record. I want to make $100,000 in an annual year. Well, your quest to that $100,000 wouldn't look like 100,000 studio sessions. It will look like finding somebody that knows how to leverage your value, leverage your catalog. It'll look like finding somebody to book your shows, to get you good deals with the venues. It'll look like being able to capsize your expenses so that what you make, you don't spend trying to move around. It'll look like understanding your bills so that you're not spending more than you make. All these things would go into making that dollar amount. If you want to travel the world, then you wouldn't spend all your time on social media. You would be learning another language. You'd be doing your research on the places that you want to visit, the customs, the natives, how they operate, you know, if there's language barriers, if there's anybody there that speaks English, if there's a market for your art there, you want to look into the data and see how popular your art is in that place, your product or whatever you provide, you want to see how big of a need that is in that market. And then I'll close on this. A lot of artists approach the music business without the mental consensus of they are in the business. What is business? Problem solving, solving a need. Somebody needs something. If you can solve that need, you're in business. Okay, if you put that onto a musician, right? You get paid on your ability to solve a problem. You don't get paid on your ability to make music. So what keeps people from actually becoming successful is that they learn how to make the best music, but they don't even comprehend how to problem solve in that industry. Take Ken Carson for an example. He knew that the beats that he was making solved the problem. People needed a sound that could mesh and innovate and be able to compete in today's market. Now, if Zaytoven couldn't do that, if Metro couldn't do that, if Weezy wasn't on that, how would Lil Kim make it to where he want to be? By solving that problem. Hey, listen to these beats. Listen to these beats. Kanye did the same thing. Listen to these beats. They solved a problem first, and success followed. But a lot of artists get in their own way because before they even are solving a problem, they formed an ego. And I'll take it even further than that. Ego comes from a state of unconscious awareness. So the ego is the state of the self before it has been able to break out and actually perceive the world beyond the internal representation. So when you're serving yourself, when you're serving things that you want, you're moving in a state of ego. The moment that you move out of that state and you become consciously aware, I guarantee the things that you value, the things that you want out of life are going to change. So don't base a lot of your decisions today on the things that you want today, especially if you know that you have some character development to do. If you want a lasting, sustainable career, do the hard part first. The habits. Let the habits create routines. There's so much work that goes into being successful. There's so much work that goes into being able to see your record on the Billboard charts. There's like 8 different jobs. If you really genuinely want to make a song that goes platinum, you need to learn how to wear like 8 different hats. It's not just making music. It's not just recording the music. I'm sorry if that ruins your entire like dream or whatever. But if you want to have a platinum record, then you need to learn marketing, you need to learn branding, you need to learn distribution, you need to learn publishing, PR. You need to have a lot of connections at the radio. You need to be able to genuinely understand how streaming works. All these things you got to be able to be a professional at. You have to be able to walk into a meeting or a business setting and present yourself in a way that you're not trying to get a favor from these people. You're not needing them to own you. You have something of value. You have something that they need. You are something that they need. A lot of the time, we haven't even broken through the first level of communication, building rapport. So you're inside of a business meeting trying to put yourself in a life-changing situation and your communication level are at level one. If I had to deal with a creative that wanted $100,000 from me and they didn't even take the time out to further their vocabulary, there's no way I would give them a fair contract. How would you want me to do more work for you than you've done for yourself? We get so caught up in what we want that we forget what we need to do. And that's what keeps you stuck. And really it's a avoidance because when you decided you wanted to do this thing for a living, it was because you saw the fun parts. Because you saw the stage, because you saw the fans, because you saw the tours and the girls. What you didn't see was all the people with the business degrees that went to college and got their associates in business. They got their associates in broadcasting. They got their associates in finance. They got their associates in marketing. Those are the people that actually make the music world go around. And you're at the mercy of those people without those skills. Just like if you were so you just bought a house and there was a leak, you got to hire a plumber if you don't know how to plumb. If you don't know how to go in and rework those pipes, then you have to hire the person that does. And that's the same thing in the music business. If you don't know how to get your song on a playlist, you have to hire somebody that does, or your label does. If you don't know how to get your song up on that billboard because you don't have any connections on the marketing industry, then you have to pay somebody that does. If you don't have any PR friends and you can't get any SEO so that you can be more searchable, be more findable on the web, you have to find somebody that does publishing, that could write your articles, that could get your presence bigger on the online. But if you're spending every day in the studio and you don't know what SEO is, if you've spent all day in the studio and you don't know what the company upfront does, if you spent all day in the studio and you don't know how to book a venue or manage um what is it? If you spend all day in the studio and don't know how to negotiate a proper settlement with the bar or the venue, you're not making any money. Guys, this is a music business. You want to make money. You want to make money. I got out of the music business because I didn't love it enough to do the things that it took to make money out of it. Period. That's just me being honest. I have a lot of things that I can offer outside of trying to figure out how to make a lot of money off of the music that I made. And I didn't have the administration to do it either. So I said, okay, I'm not wasting any time. I'm just gonna go do something else that I like. You have that freedom too. A lot of people keep themselves chained, they keep themselves small, they keep their value limited, and they keep their quality of life not this. Guys, I'm literally recording this video from Hollywood. I'm literally working on this workshop for you guys in Hollywood. The sign's right there. You know how many people are on Instagram all day wishing to sit in this exact spot. And I started in their shoes, literally. So I don't I don't want any creatives to think that I'm telling them that they need to stop making art. That's not my goal. My goal is to not have people stop making music. My goal is to have creatives spend more time processing the other avenues that will lead them to success in whatever way you want to get there. Some people make music, some people write songs, some people make beats, some people do placements. You know, there's sync licensing. You can, if you want to just make $100,000 off of music, You can do that in one song in a proper business model. So to all of my artists out there with thousands and thousands and thousands of unreleased, what is your plan? Sit down and come up with a plan for that. Are you going to sell a back catalog to a record label and make another catalog of material? Or do you plan on leveraging your catalog to get a deal from a distribution label? You know, are you going to shop these songs around as references to labels so that other artists can take those tracks and record them for commercial purposes? Like, what is your way of making money? Okay, we get it. You're creative. Okay, we get it. You're talented. But did you get into this to be poor? Did you get into this to stay stuck? Did you get into this to not feed your family? Did you get into this to not see the world, to see the trees, to be out here and experience all that life has to offer? Don't spend all day crammed in your head in a studio going back and forth with your thoughts about what's not working. Ask yourself, what have I been avoiding? Ask yourself, what have I never done before? Use your imagination. And we got Chat GPT now. You can just ask Chat GPT, I want to make $1,000 off of a song. What are the avenues that I need to learn? Or what skills do I need to learn to be able to make $1,000 off this song? Approach your music that way. If I could go back in time and redo my music career, I would only go record a new song once the song that I recorded made enough money from streams and performances to with however much money I spent on the studio session and to get the song mixed and mastered. I would have to make that money back from streams and performances before I would go record another song. That's business. Now, if you want to just make art, then make art, but don't beat yourself up and ask what's going on, what's wrong, what am I doing wrong? You didn't set yourself up to make a successful business model out of this material. You just wanted to make art. So guess what? You found a way to make art. Your brain did what you wanted it to do. You need to form a proper communication with your subconscious because your subconscious is the one in charge of your life. We often think that we're calling the shots from the conscious mind, but that's why a lot of the times we end up in places that we don't want to be. And we don't know we don't want to be there until we get into those environments. And then what starts to talk to us? Our inner voice, our subconscious. It says, what the fuck is going on? I don't like this, I don't like that. What are we doing here? The mind, you thought you put yourself in that situation until it becomes something that you don't like anymore. It's something that you were proud to do. It's something that you wanted to do. So you need to get into rapport with the subconscious mind so you can tell it exactly what you want and it can help you achieve that. Your subconscious mind is your partner, but it doesn't operate properly unless you can communicate with it properly. So if you tell your subconscious mind, I want to get rich, and all day you're looking at social media and you're thinking that this is rich, it's going to help you get to that. So don't be surprised when you find yourself at every party. You broke, but you at every mansion party. Because to your mind, you thought that that was going to get you rich. You thought this is what being rich is. Now, to the subconscious mind, you said, I want to be able to lift 200 pounds. I want to be able to fast for 48 hours on command. I want to be able to identify the trigger points and the tonality and the vernacular in my conversation so that I don't miscommunicate with anybody. I want to be able to walk into a bank and understand and have the financial literacy to be able to negotiate proper terms for a business loan. I need to understand logistics because I want to go on tour and I need to be able to plan out each stop, fuel, lounging, the things you'll need to survive. It's not enough to just be out here creating. Guys, you are a creative entrepreneur. A creative entrepreneur. The days of just being a starving artist are over. Those days are over. And as a community, we need to hold each other accountable so that we actually evolve. Because the creatives need to be now pouring back into the next generation so that they have the resources that we didn't have available to us so that we could take this culture further. Less artists and bad contracts. More artists that actually have quality values that they can lead by example and not lead people to empty lives. drug addictions, fornication, porn addiction, delusion, insecurity. We want to spend all our time looking at these people. We want to spend all our time on the internet gawking over other people's lives. But how about we start to lead by example and show each other that, hey, you can live the life that it looks good. I got a Gucci watch on. These is Giuseppe Zanotti. I'm in Hollywood right now. This shirt is a $70 button up from Nordstrom. I come from nothing. I want to show the people that come from the same place I come from that seeing me doing the house shows, seeing me performing at the venue spot, seeing me doing events, taking risks, seeing me booking artists, seeing me signing artists, taking risks, seeing me build a clothing brand from the ground up, taking risks. So now when I get into this spot and I say, okay, we're going to pour back into the youth. Okay, this is how we need to go forward. Okay, this is how we need to start thinking. I've earned people's trust to be able to provide value for the community. You have done that same thing. All of you have. If you're watching this video, I guarantee you. Because if I know you, that means that we've been inside of the same line of effort. We've seen each other out and about. We've seen each other at a show. We've seen each other at an event. We've seen each other inside of a creative environment. I don't want anybody to stop what they're doing. I just want people to stop holding themselves back. A proper vision could create a real root. Once you have a root to success, a real vision could create a real route. Because a route isn't just I'm here and I'm gonna end up here. Could you write down on a piece of paper every single action you would take from here to here? Unless you can do that, stop thinking wishfully. Think, okay, I want to end up here. Let me identify every step that I would have to take. Because every step comes with a skill. Every step comes with trials and tribulations. Every step comes with risk management. When you think about it that way, you will see why it'll take a year or 2 years or 3 years to actually achieve the result you want to achieve sustainably. But those 1, 2, 3 years won't seem redundant. They'll be full of learning, experiences, encounters, miracles, ways that God can work in your life and actually take you to where you want to go. And when you get there, you've evolved as a person. You have valuable traits. You have teachable skills. You have a sense of self. You have integrity. You love yourself. How are we going to get to a point where you're going to make $100,000 off a record deal and you got a drug addiction and die in a year? What type of person is that? And these people have been influencing our decisions. They've been influencing where we end up in life, where we set our destinations. And nobody ever asks themselves, you going to take inspiration from somebody that hasn't even gotten through their mind yet? You thought money was the end all be all? That's why it's an early casket. I want people that I care about to live long lives. I want people that I care about to be able to provide value from rooftops in Hollywood. I want people that I care about to be able to live life on their terms. I'm going to go get some orange chicken after this with some rice. It's going to be really good. I'm making this video right now to give you guys free value because my life is good. I want your lives to be good. I want every single creative to go from an artist to a creative entrepreneur. Find out how to use your gift to solve a problem, and that will take care of all of your wants and needs. You don't have to try to go get rich. You don't have to put yourself in dangerous situations to try to make a profit. You don't have to trust people that you know are untrustworthy to try to gain an advantage. All you need to do is identify how the God-given gift that you possess solves somebody else's problem. And I guarantee you can end up in the same situation that I'm in right now. So if this provided you with any value, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I will be making more of these workshop videos. I want to give you guys as much free content as possible just so you can get to know me. You can get to see where my head's at. I only want to connect with the people that get the message that I'm putting out. If you don't understand what I'm saying, if it don't make sense to you, this is not for you. I only want the people that understand the way I'm communicating because you guys are my people. And together we can reach limitless possibilities. So if this resonated with you, Like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know it resonated with you. We will stay in contact. I will keep providing you guys with free value. Check my website out if you guys want to book an enrollment or if you want a free consultation call. Let's talk. And I have the Creative Clarity portal. The link will be in the description below. If you guys want to log into that, I'll be doing webinars, coursework, putting in daily workshop videos like this, virtual classroom settings. It'll be a real community for us to really hold each other accountable, grow, see results, cheer each other on, encourage each other, support each other, and really care about this community. I really do. I really care about all of you. Anybody watching this video right now, I genuinely care about you, and I want to see you live the most successful life. I want to see who you can become when there is no limitations, nothing holding you back. So, with that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day. I'm going to continue to enjoy this sunset, and until next time.